Now, the numogram and numerology and how it relates to all of this stuff, I guess, brings us back to this sort of your Protestantism is, you have your own very particular approach to reading the Bible, and I think we've talked a little bit about KJV onlyism, which is to say, the King James version is the version, and I'm wondering, does that relate directly to the numerology approach that you use, and is, what's going on there?
Yes, I think for 100% that's true. Like, okay, because the crucial example actually doesn't come from the KGB, but we can take it back to the KGB. So the question is, like, what do you even mean by inspired scripture? What kind of test would you do, or what on earth would lead you to that notion that there was such a thing? And overwhelmingly the most powerful example of this, and again, I talked to your other side about this, but I think it bears repeating because I think it's like very, very crucial. So the CCIU's Cabalistic cipher is called alphanumeric or Anglosic Kabbalah, AQ. And all these ciphers, there's I'm very encouraged by the amount of Kabbalistic culture that is happening. And I'm very grateful to this particular band of guys. I don't know much about them. I just know them through their website. That's called Ciphers News. Spelt with a Y. I think everyone should always have this up in their tabs, frankly. And it's a basis of a kind of form of discussion, not only between people, but between all intelligent forces in the universe, basically, kind of.
Did you say it's cipher.news?
It's ciphers, CYPHERS .NEWS.
Okay.
Utterly crucial website.
Yeah, because there's one that is cipher.news and there's one that is ciphers.news.
I think it's with an S.
Okay.
I think it's with an S.
Got it.
If you open it up and then click on ciphers, you should get some
it's like the Matrix.
You see should.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and you can see there's lots of interesting ciphers. Again, to just repeat stuff I've said elsewhere, like I used to be very dogmatically supportive of alphanumeric Kabbalah. I think there's a lot now, and my position on this is that any potential channel of communication is an actual channel of communication. So I think if you could have communication through this channel, it's happening. If you want it to, just trust it. Like, you just feel whatever you like to do, because there's a lot more intelligence out there than there is in here. So if you can deal with it, they can deal with it. So we've got alphanumeric Kabbalah, and to try and race through this very fast, if you do sentences, phrases that add up to 666, the number of the beast, that's the 36th triangle. It's a really important number. Obviously, we know it biblically from the Book of Revelation. People are a bit freaked out about it, but it's a very important number, and it's like interesting. And sentences, phrases, whatever, lines, poetic lines, adding to that value, tend disproportionately to comply with the basic metric scheme of English epic verse, which is iambic pentameter. So if you have a line in iambic pentameter in English, it's likely to be close to 666 in alphanumeric Kabbalah and AQ. So I was having a chat with people on X and saying, look, pushing this idea, call it beast pulse. It's this thing that actually the esoteric, the occult, basic kind of rhythm, underlying rhythm of the English poetic tradition actually is things that are 666 AQ. So I said, this is like, this is my hypothesis here. And like what Milton, our great epic poet, like I'm assuming like a disproportionate number of his lines will actually be 666. Within 2 minutes, someone's back saying, do you know the very first line of Paradise Lost, of man's first disobedience and the fruit, is 666 AQ? Now, I build my cathedral on this ground. Like that's like for me, this is the fundamental thing. What do you make of that? That's like for me everything. Okay, and it's like if I'm talking about inspiration, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go back into the Bible, and I'm going to say, surely, the lofty powers are going to take biblical scripture seriously as they take Miltonic epic poetry. And so we get, for instance, in the KJV, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, 666. Or I'm worried that I'm gonna slightly misquote it. It's Genesis 3, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. 777. And I look at these other translations, and they don't do that. I mean, they're just like, I'm in theory open to persuasion. Someone could like try and find the Cabalistic riches of these other English translations of the Bible and persuade me that, I'm wrong and that actually the KJV isn't it. But to me, overwhelmingly, it looks like that there is just endorsement by higher powers of this particular English text that goes, this stuff obviously wasn't deliberately put in by humans. It's like, it stretches coincidence as far as I'm concerned. It's like, seems to me extremely weird that you would have such beautiful Kabbalistic outcome, just as a matter of chance. So when I say KJV only, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I trust that this English text has been providentially composed, and that when we're dealing with it, we're not dealing with just human writers, whether they're ancient Hebrews or modern English translators of the Hebrew. We're dealing with something much bigger than that.